anyone's ever told you to just have more willpower to beat an addiction, they've handed you a roadmap to failure. That advice ignores a fundamental truth about how our brains work, and that's why so many of us get stuck in a demoralizing cycle of shame and relapse. The feeling of trying your absolute hardest, gritting your teeth, and white-knuckling your way through a craving, only to fall short, is crushing. It can make you feel weak, like you're missing some core character trait that everyone else has. But what if you're not weak? What if the problem isn't you, but the tool you've been told to use? In this video, we're not going to talk about trying harder. We're going to talk about a science-backed approach to building a truly resilient mind, one that doesn't rely on a willpower muscle that is designed to get tired. We're going to explore the evidence-based strategies that create lasting change, moving beyond the myth of brute force and into the science of sustainable recovery. The willpower lie. First, let's dismantle the central myth that addiction is just a battle of willpower. There's a common, destructive misconception that people who struggle with substance use or behavioral compulsions are simply weak. This idea is completely wrong. Science and medicine now recognize addiction as a chronic disease that can be effectively managed. It's a condition that fundamentally alters brain chemistry through complex interactions between brain circuits, genetics, and life experiences, especially in the areas related to reward, stress, and self. Think of your willpower like your phone's battery. You start the day at 100%, but every decision you make, what to have for breakfast, how to answer a stressful email, whether to hit the gym, drains that battery a little. In psychology, this is known as ego depletion. By the end of a long, stressful day, your battery is low, and your ability to make good, long-term decisions is shot. Now, imagine trying to fight an addiction, which unleashes some of the most intense cravings a human can experience. When your battery is already at 10%, you're setting yourself up to fail. While willpower can be a helpful tool, it's not enough on its own. In fact, research shows that what truly distinguishes people who achieve stable, long-term recovery isn't their raw willpower, but the number and quality of strategies they use. They aren't just trying harder. They are thinking smarter. They build systems and skills that preserve their mental energy, rather than wasting it on 1,000 tiny battles all day long. The shift from muscle to mindset. So, if brute force willpower is a flawed strategy, what's the alternative? The key is to shift from trying to build a bigger willpower muscle to building a more resilient and strategic mind. It's about creating a life where you need to use willpower as little as possible. That isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of intelligence. The most successful people in any field, from athletes to CEOs, get this. They don't just rely on moment-to-moment self-control. They build powerful routines and supportive environments that make their desired behaviors almost automatic. Recovery becomes sustainable when it's supported by a foundation of skills and systems, not just sheer grit. This means moving from a mindset of constant resistance to one of strategic design. You are going to become the architect of your own recovery, thoughtfully building a life that protects your brain and supports your goals. Let's talk about how to do that. Here are 4 evidence-based strategies that will become the pillars of your resilient mind. These aren't about trying harder. They're about building a framework that makes recovery the path of least resistance. Your environment is one of the most powerful and often overlooked drivers of your behavior. Relying on willpower to resist a temptation that's right in front of you is like trying to swim upstream against a powerful current. The smartest move: change the direction of the current. This means proactively removing triggers from your physical and social spaces. It might be deleting a dealer's phone number, changing your route home to avoid the liquor store, using apps to block gambling websites, or unfollowing social media accounts that glorify substance use. Keep your living space clear of things that remind you of past use. On the flip side, enrich your environment with things that support your recovery. Keep healthy food visible, put your running shoes by the door, and place books on recovery on your nightstand. Every trigger you remove and every positive cue you add is one less decision you have to make, which saves that precious willpower battery for when you truly need it. In recovery, the stability of routine often replaces the chaos of addiction. Routines give you structure, predictability, and a sense of control when life feels overwhelming. When you have a solid routine, you put healthy habits on autopilot. You no longer have to decide whether to exercise, meditate, or eat a healthy meal. It's just what you do at a certain time of day. A strong routine is also your foundation for prioritizing regular sleep, consistent physical activity, and balanced nutrition stabilizes your mood and energy levels, making you far more resilient to stress and cravings. Exercise, even just a simple daily walk, releases endorphins that act as natural mood boosters. A structured routine is your anchor, replacing feelings of chaos with a sense of stability and purpose. Cravings can feel like an overwhelming command that you must obey. Mindfulness-based practices teach you a revolutionary skill: how to create space between a trigger and your response. Mindfulness is simply the practice of being fully present and aware of the moment, without judgment. When a craving pops up, instead of either fighting it or giving in, you learn to just observe it. You can say to yourself, this is a craving. I feel a tightness in my chest and a sense of urgency. You notice the thought and the physical sensation without getting swept away. This practice has become an evidence-based part of modern addiction treatment, with studies showing it can significantly reduce cravings and the risk of relapse. This skill of non-reactive awareness helps you see that cravings are temporary signals from the brain, not commands. You learn to let them pass without having to act on them. The goal of staying sober forever can feel so massive that it's a much more effective approach is to break it down into small, achievable steps. This strategy is all about building momentum and self-efficacy. Instead of a vague, overwhelming goal, focus on something concrete and immediate. I will not drink for the next hour, or today I will go to one meeting and celebrate every small victory. This isn't about being childish. It's about hacking your brain's reward system. Each time you meet a small goal, you get a little natural dopamine release, which reinforces the positive behavior and builds your confidence. Recovery is a journey of 1,000 small steps, and every single one counts. This approach keeps you from feeling overwhelmed and helps you build real progress toward your larger goals. Perhaps the biggest mistake people make, and the one most directly fueled by the willpower, myth is believing they have to do it all by themselves. Isolation is the enemy of recovery. Connection is the force multiplier that makes every other strategy more powerful. Seeking help is a sign of strength and strategic thinking, not weakness. This can take many forms: professional support through therapy and medical treatment, or community support through 12-step programs and other peer groups. Cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT) is a scientifically proven tool for treating addiction, helping you identify and change the negative thought patterns that lead to substance use. A strong support system provides accountability, shrinks feelings of isolation, and gives you a vital source of hope by connecting you with people who truly understand what you're going through. There is no shame in asking for help. It's a normal and necessary part of achieving any difficult goal. If these strategies are resonating with you, and you're tired of fighting a battle you were told you had to win alone, then consider this your invitation to find a new way forward. If you want to keep learning science-backed strategies to build a resilient mind, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you know just one person who is exhausted from being told to just try harder, please share this video with them. It could be the shift in perspective. They desperately need to see that a different path is possible. For too long, the narrative around addiction has been one of personal, moral failure of willpower. That narrative is not only scientifically wrong, but it has caused immeasurable shame and suffering. The truth is, recovery isn't a test of brute strength. It's a process of building skill, strategy, and resilience. It's about engineering your environment, automating healthy habits, developing mindfulness to navigate your inner world, and leaning on the strength of community. You are not weak. You've just been using the wrong playbook. Beating addiction doesn't require an unshakable will. It requires a willingness to learn a new approach and the courage to build a life that actively supports your healing. You are capable of building this resilient mind. Your journey starts not with one final, exhausting test of strength, but with the very first smart strategy you put into place.